my way.
Anyways, season 9, episode 4 is entitled
Did anybody
Bunk
get it?
beds and bottom bitches, something like that.
It is not.
Something like that. I'm not
All
wrong.
right.
Something like that.
We need it.
We can move past it.
You know who's really good at Googling quickly? Kristen.
You. Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
one thing
Uh,
I'm not good
it
at.
is called hmm. Oh, bunking beds and butting heads. Bunking
That's
beds and
right. Bunking
butting
beds and butting
heads.
heads.
But surprisingly, the people that are bunking beds are not really the ones
It ain't them.
invested in butting heads.
And
So,
I wouldn't either. If I was in that room, I would be happy and pleased to retreat
yes.
every night and to talk shit. Though I would not.
Yes.
I don't want a bunk bed though. I don't want that.
No, but
Yeah,
it would
but
still be refreshing to corroborate your reality, you know.
mhm.
Yes, yes.
And but anyways, all right. So with that being said, Ellen, you're starting us off with a toast.
I am, I believe. And I'm either gonna toast my coffee or my lemon water. Which do y'all prefer?
Lemon
Coffee.
water. Oh,
Coffee.
We have a split crowd here. Well,
yeah.
while y'all decide, let me say this toast is in defense of my girls, Karen and Stacy, especially Karen, because all of a sudden the housewives of Potomac have deputized themselves, the police, like some snitch ass loser cops. Okay. Oh, you're gonna DUI. We have to be lawful. No, enough. Okay.
Enough.
So because my coffee is easy at hand, I'm gonna do that. So cheers to lawlessness and the Kenya Moore, we might say, of Potomac.
Ooh. You are now watching Mind You Media.
Mind you.
We can't use that. We don't have the rights. You are now streaming Mind You Media.
Oh, that is
This
a hell of a prediction.
When she smiles, she looks like her. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, Detroit. They may be
Detroit.
cousins.
They probably are related, yo. Oh,
Yes.
has Kenya Moore weighed in on the new Potomac housewife? That's her
No,
cousin.
she's too busy in her lawsuit.
Yes,
That's her
her cousin
And
Kenny is actually Kenya.
her when she smiles, it's like she looks just like her, but it's also like a vibe. It's like an essence. She's like, you
It's
know,
like
like
she does have like a Barbie sensibility
yeah,
about her, you
yeah,
know? Oh,
yeah.
the Kenya Moore. That's a hot take, Ellen. I'm gonna have to have
Uh-huh.
It is a very hot take. I'm not on board yet. I'm not anti, but I'm just not. I'm
You know
ready to
what's
be taken there as the
the
season
the thing
progresses.
that's similar is that like fun loving,
Yes.
like you know,
Yeah.
even though Kenya's might tend more towards mischief and sometimes reprehensible behavior, like we haven't seen that yet from Stacey, but it's still that like
Mhm.
you know.
That's true. That's true. And like Kenya, it seems like she's dating a dud. So, um,
I'm rooting for you,
Yeah.
Stacey. I'm rooting for
I do like
Mhm.
Stacey a lot. She's really grown
Yes.
on me. I'm like when she was
Mhm.
pointing at the Pac-Man table in the basement after she was put in the. I was like,
so
yes,
good natured.
Mhm.
She's good natured. That made me
Yeah,
yes.
you
Oh,
love
they got
you love to have
Pac-Man.
people like that around.
Yes. No, I really like her. I was very skeptical of her episode 1. But now I'm a convert. Anyways, let's go to our 1-minute recap. Kristen will again make an attempt. Again, I'm here to support her when things fall apart.
a hater.
But you know.
Be my Kiana. Be the Kiana to my Stacey, Catherine.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute. Okay. And just like Kiana said about Stacey, you've inspired me to be more positive about this situation.
Oh, that's so cute. That was such a cute moment.
We're sisters.
Yes, yes. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, go, and then you start after the go. All right. Don't get caught off guard because right now I'm starting with 1, 2, 3, go.
Show opens. The women are in the car on their way from the airport to the manor, Mia's manor, allegedly. They meet the concierge. They do the distribution of rooms, time-tested tradition in the Housewives franchises. Really shadily, Mia assigns Stacy and Kiarna to bunk beds. That's not cool. The women eat some lunch. There is a showdown of sorts. How about this? Jacqueline is asking for a moment. It does not land. Jazzy handles her. Gizelle tries to pot stir and put shit on Karen. Karen has to gather Jacqueline, and the women prepare for a boat ride. The boat ride comes. Mia calls Stacy boring. Ashley and Stacy rehearse their issues, and Jazzy, Stacy, and Kiarna seem to be cuddling up as a new three-way contingent that we always needed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
then Giselle confronts Karen when they get back to the manor at dinner,
Okay,
saying
you're
that
done, but that was really good. Great effort, way better than before. So finish us off.
thanks for the positivity this time. I Giselle has to go to the cap and gown ceremony of Angel and Adore, so she leaves for the night, but not before sitting Karen down and saying, "Listen, you hurt my feelings." She didn't say that because Giselle's not vulnerable like that, but some people think that she is in this moment. Um, Karen kind of hears her out, but says, "I made every preparation for the women to be in both places, so don't at me, bro." Then um, then Mia invites her round the way friends from Lake Norman to the dinner. And they sit outside in a nice, well decorated table by her friend who's an event planner. There are some drinks, including the bicoastal, calling back to that famed misstatement of words that Mia made about having a house in Charlotte and Maryland. And the episode ends with a teaser that Mia and one of the friends who comes had gone out to dinner and drinks and then a good time with Karen. And Karen had butt dialed them and said that she was somewhere with a person, and the
I
women thought
forgot
it was
that.
Ray, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they think I'm with Ray right now.
Yes.
Poor Ray. Bottom line,
Yeah.
put some respect on his name.
Please,
Remember,
please,
we
I
still have
beg.
yet to come up with a theory of his type.
That's true.
It's King. King shit is his type.
That's not an option on the Enneagram
He must
circle.
be an 8.
It's a circle, okay?
Yeah, right.
He might
He's
be a
not an 8.
9.
He's
He
not an
actually
8.
just might be a 9.
Mm,
Yeah, but
I actually could see that.
me too.
I
But
don't know
okay,
what
well,
else he
we'll
would
see.
be, but we don't know him well.
Even though
Yeah.
we've been looking at him for years, it's just
A 9 or a 5?
A lot of people feel
yep.
like that about 9s. Don't know you that well, though I've been looking at you for years, you know?
He's cute.
So,
Mhm.
all right, well, moving on. Let's talk about the main event, I would say, of this episode, which is when the women come to Lake Norman. They're arriving, they're seeing, they're impressed with Mia's setup she has for them, mostly, except for the bunk beds, and the fact that Karen and Giselle have to share a bathroom. Um, but they eat lunch. Okay. At the lunch table is where we get, I would say, the most interesting aspects of the episode.
One, can I we also at the start of the episode get the end of the car ride to Lake Norman. And
Mm,
one thing I want to say just about the way Mia is engaging Karen, it's like I'm getting bored and tired of this. Karen, you need to just like Mia, now you're the new like police apology police. Like you
Mhm.
done took the title from Giselle. You need to be contrite about your DUI. I don't give a fuck if Karen is contrite about her DUI. Does anyone care? Does like do y'all insist that Karen be sorry that she potentially drove drunk? And then to repeatedly try to get her to say something, it's like, Mia, are you playing stupid? If she has a court case coming up and she wants to get the charges reduced, she wants to get the whatever penalty she's going to incur reduced, she cannot say anything that they might later use, watch back, and incriminate. She says that to you repeatedly, she can't incriminate herself. And
mm.
you insist like, she's deflecting, she's dodging. It's like, shut up. You like, do you not get it? I'm over it. Mia's so
Remember,
tacky with it, and it's
Wendy said,
obnoxious.
no, Wendy said she vibrates too low, so she probably does not. Like
she, that's and I wrote that down. I said, or maybe she literally does not understand, right? Because despite her insisting she's the CEO, she clearly had no real like.
Yeah.
But it's like remember their lawyer committed suicide?
Yeah. I actually don't think that I feel like it's not even that Karen's acting like she's not sorry that upsets them. I feel like they want Karen to admit, like, see, you're not as good as you say you are. You're an evil doer. Like, you did this
Mhm.
bad thing, like
Mhm.
bad. And it's just like,
But
And more
ugh.
than
why?
that,
Like, you believe Karen is angelic? You believe she's actually
Right.
like above rebuke, so now you have to force her to it. It's like Karen's not
I,
perfect. You thought she
I
was
don't think
perfect?
I
Yeah.
don't think Mia actually like can sustain a like moral position. I don't think she's interested in that. I think she is taking an opportunity, the seven that she is. I
Mhm.
think she's taking an
Hmm.
opportunity to condemn Karen according to the values that she exhibits, which is just like, hey, I put my shit on Front Street. Like I am transparent about my mess. And I think that's a kind of currency or accusation that the women love to like wield at convenient times. Like just stand on your shit. Just stand behind it. Just admit it.
Hmm.
Like I think Mia
Hmm.
is fashioning herself somehow superior to Karen because she's so transparent. But Mia, you're a clown and don't have any integrity in any sense of like a thing.
Exactly. And like, you think we care that Karen may have drank and got behind the wheel? No, we care that you're putting your children on the TV for a paycheck.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Like, this is not our idea of unethical failing.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well,
Who
that's the
among
thing.
us
Like,
don't drink and drive?
I'm not going to implicate
I
myself. I
said
don't
what
know
I
what.
said. I said what I said.
In a certain kind of yeah, it's impossible not to, obviously.
I
It's
feel
lawful to drink and drive.
yes.
And
I
good
think
bit. I can drink 3 drinks and stay under 0.08 or whatever.
It's not until I have had 4 that I'm about to Earl in the bush.
all right, we're moving on from this. It wasn't even on the agenda, but it is ironic that I usually like it when people are like, stand on business, say it with your chest, because I
Mhm.
agree people should do that. But when Mia won't even stand on business when it comes to her child's father, that we all see
Mhm.
has the face of the day, be quiet, you know?
Mhm.
All right, so let's move quickly though. We are at the lunch. The big thing to me that happens at the Lake Norman initial lunch is that Karen uh catches Jacqueline and is like, "Look, I heard you're talking about me. I don't even know you like that. I heard you're telling people I called you drunk, you know." And Jacqueline starts crying, right? At that point.
Eventually.
Mhm.
Eventually.
Before
What?
that, before it gets to Jacqueline and Karen, it's Jacqueline and Jazzy. Because if you recall, in the moment that they're riding in the cars back from the airport, Wendy, Jacqueline, and Gizelle are in the car together, and Jacqueline is like, "So Wendy, you don't have any problems with anybody?" And Wendy is like, "No, I don't. I think I might have heard though that Jazzy said something about you being a sidekick in the plane." And so Jacqueline is trying to have her moment at the table and kind of ask Jazzy, "What's going on with this? Like, you said I'm a sidekick? I am nobody's sidekick, okay? I have
Mhm.
a body and face and da da da."
She said,
That,
"Face, face, yes." Said, "Oh."
Jazzy was great. She said, when Jazzy said, "Where?" I said, "Oh, that was so
I
good."
know. And then she got up to show her. She was like, I think right here, I think.
Yeah, Jazzy said,
It's
"Okay, girl."
so Jazzy finally said, "Look, you're pathetic," you know? And to see, and then it was just like, I actually don't want this. Please, Jacqueline, get off of my screen.
Yeah.
I don't want to, like,
Yeah.
Jacqueline's confessional points. Like, this is just, no, no, no.
I don't have much else to say, but Jacqueline
Me
is a
neither.
hard watch. She's a hard
Yeah.
watch.
Me
The only
neither.
thing, this is the last time we're going to talk about Jacqueline in this episode, I want to say that uh Jacqueline then circles back after the lunch with Jazzy. It seems like they've made up, at least on the surface. And Jacqueline is like saying, "Oh," and Jazzy goes, "I only said face up or head up." What was her excuse? Because I was trying to say
The,
how
the
beautiful you
neck
were.
up, you got it going on or something. Whatever Jacqueline was saying.
Yes. She
Jazzy
was
said,
like,
"I'll get the neck up."
I only pointed that out to say you were beautiful. And then Jacqueline goes, it's my outfit that you don't like, and Jazzy was like, and then Jacqueline's like, it's
Jazzy
just
was great for that. Jazzy said, "Well, no, Jacqueline, I do not like your outfit. I do not like what you're."
yes. And Jacqueline's like, well, it's a travel day. Like, it was just so bad. I was like,
Yeah.
please, please. But anyways, so that was just like the height of
I
the
maintain it's not her
pathetic
game. Get out of this game, Jacqueline. You're if you know, like I don't know what led her to cry other than just maybe too much intensity and too much pressure, but I don't think she should be on the show.
I think it is
But
that. I think that when you're used to being the sidekick and finally people turn their attention to you and you got nothing to say back, it's like, okay, all I can do is cry.
well, I think she cried because her conception of herself is that she's a nice, like she's a two as well, right? Like Kiarna, who interestingly in her little cut early in the episode was like, I am basically she said, I am a two. I help. I'm helping my man. I am a two. He will later be ungrateful and then I will rage.
Mhm, mhm.
I am the type. I am the type.
Right? Like, look, just put the poster on her. But Jacqueline is as well. And the two-ish aspect of her that you see most clearly is her running to power, right? So she's supposed to be close with Mia, but we all see that she has the capacity to betray Mia, although Mia is really the one who kicks off the betrayal.
Yeah.
According to Karen, no, girl, you were soliciting advice from me. That's why we were on the phone. And then you're going to wait until I'm on my way to my birthday party. I have not yet walked into the door. So you didn't say it to my face, right? And then tell people, oh, you think she's a drunk? Well, I have a story. She was drinking yesterday. Can you believe it? Like that. It wasn't even the hell. Like, who cares? So it was just a clear, you're looking for an opportunity. And so I'm like, I appreciate Karen be like, bitch, I don't care. Keep crying. Keep crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen, get her because
Karen.
don't show sympathy. It's manipulative. She's now crying to make herself the victim of something, but it's like, have you atoned for what you did? No, you could have
Yeah.
apologized and called this thing quit.
Yep. And the
Yeah.
way she delivered it, not to belabor it, but the way she delivered it at the Inquisition was clearly like, "Oh, y'all want to hear some mess? I got a
Yes.
contribution. Take it up." You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Anyways, get her off our screen. Next. We also see, yeah, then the bunk beds. I think we kind of discussed this in the intro. Stacy and Kiarna took it in stride.
Oh,
Especially
I'll say
Stacy. She was like, bunk beds. I always wanted bunk beds.
mhm.
I
She was
appreciated
doing inner
that.
child work.
I,
Yes.
I appreciated it both because I'm really liking Stacey these days. I thought it was a like graceful way of, coming in and not making us sting, but also like I think Mia was trying to be shady. We learned from Karen on the way into
Yeah.
like Norma that she finds her boring or not interesting. And so I think Mia was just like, yeah, the women who are not me and Gizelle and Karen or whatever, you go to the bunk beds, which is it's disrespectful. Don't put no grown woman in a bunk bed. That's mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, although she carved out, a special space for her friend Jazzy. It's like, I mean, Mia also was like, she's boring. And then in the confessional, she's like, that whole Valley Girl thing. And I'm like, Mia, you sound like a Valley Girl. You sound like a wannabe Valley Girl, right?
Mhm.
It's like you just don't have the diction to finish the Valley Girl thing, but your voice is otherwise giving that. It's
Mhm.
hype, and it's like she's the definition of a ditzy speaker. What is she saying?
Mhm.
Like, I'm
Mhm.
not saying that Stacey doesn't, like as we already
Stacy's
said,
another
we're gonna
level.
date.
Yeah.
And it's not Valley Girl. It's like again, it's white identified hyper enunciation newscaster voice. Yours is Valley Girl. How dare
Mhm.
she project that nakedly and then think we're not gonna notice? Mia, be quiet.
And Valley Girl is a scream because it's like, yeah, that's how Stacey presents, but that's not who Stacey is somebody who is bringing some things to the table. She's bringing
Exactly.
confrontation. She's bringing,
Exactly.
ideas. Like, what are you talking
Yeah, what
about?
about Ashley, who literally is inside and out Valley Girl, but
That's true.
the evil, the intensified evil version of Valley Girl. Like she's too evil to be ditzy. You don't have a problem with her, do you, Mia?
Mia don't be
You're a
Yeah,
like,
hater.
yeah.
it's true. It's true. Historic. Yeah. We're moving on to Ooh, speculation nation. The
She
women
said,
get on the pontoon. I thought that was very odd that they had a driver for the pontoon. Um, like
Um,
it was just
one.
like it was a yacht, you know? Like
Oh,
Mia
but it was
actually could have
motorized.
driven that. Well, yeah, but like, it was just like, okay.
it was a smaller boat than I was expecting for them, especially in their
Yeah.
attire, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boat
Yeah.
that we
Karen
were on.
clocked it. She said, this all she got.
Right, right. And I felt like the driver aspect heightened that, like, this is what we're, like, but anyways, so they get on the boat. What are your thoughts?
My only contribution that I liked was that, maybe not only, but I loved that by the seating arrangements, they had Jazzy, Kiarna, and Stacy sitting in the back region of that little boat, the speedboat, and that they were just like earnestly like chatting it up and trying to get to know one another and asking each other questions. And Stacy was checking in with Kiarna about her relationship with Ashley, and I was just like, this is who I want to see. I want these Black women to really like ride for each other and turn up to be like the foils against the mess of Giselle and them. Giselle and Ashley in particular.
Agreed.
And so my question to you, as we are speculating,
Mhm.
do you think this triad will hold?
I sure hope so. Um, I sure hope so. Okay, so who Kiarna is a 2,
Mm.
Stacy is a 3. What are we thinking about Jazzy? Do
I
we have
know, right? I'm saying
I feel like
7
it's
at
still
this point.
open for me, but I could see
I
the
like Jazzy a
7.
lot, and I think I could just see, and this is not a condemnation, but I think I could see her getting Buck in a way where she could be like, I don't know, that there could be some mess that she's a part of that could maybe fracture the thing. Because I just feel, I say that to say
Mm,
that Kiarna feels to me like a kind of 2 ingratiator, and Stacy, I don't know, like maybe Stacy could be the source of some kind of breach if she gets too like in her respectable bag or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't want to see it. I like them together.
yeah. I think that Kiarna says in a confessional, I'm not sure, I don't remember when. But like I think I'm the most open one in the group.
Hmm.
Did y'all see that?
When did she? No, I don't
It
remember
might
that.
not have been this episode, but I saw something on Insta or TikTok at some point where she's like, "What I think I bring to the group is that I'm the most open." When it was kind of
Hmm.
like teasing her coming on, and I think that that's true. Like, especially given what the show has been, she is refreshingly open. She will change her
What do
take.
you mean? And what do you understanding open to mean?
Well, what I was gonna say is that she, comes in like, oh, I'm not happy with the bunk beds. And then someone suggested, like, maybe we could have fun in the room, and she's like, okay. Like, I think she's willing to engage and like coming in with good faith engagement. And I see her doing that with Jazzy and Stacy. And I think that there's potential for that to be like, I think the three of them have a real connection. And I think that that could hold.
Yeah, I don't think actually I wouldn't go so far as to say they have a real connection. I don't think we've seen enough to
Well,
say that.
relative.
And I
Yeah.
don't think, huh?
A relative, real connection, as in like, oh, I think they
I
like
think
each
they're
other.
bonding over being the new ones on the cast. And
Yeah.
that's good enough for me, but the question is like, will that stand the test of time? I don't
Mhm.
think organically they would be put together. Because consider like even if it's one of those friends, like consider that Jazzy's coming in with Mia.
Mhm.
Neither Stacy nor Kiarna are the type of people who would fuck with Mia in real life. In fact, who on the cast who is not already in relation to Mia would fuck with Mia in real life?
I
Mia's
Jacqueline.
don't know. It's
effectively a
scary.
sociopath. So that's why the question of who like Stacy's type is an interesting one for me. She does seem like a 7. I was
Kathy.
on her
In Jazzy.
Instagram.
Mhm.
Jazzy. I was on her Instagram cutting. Did I say Stacey? I meant Jazzy. I was on her Instagram, like, cutting images of her for our content. And I was like, I don't like what I'm
Yeah.
seeing here. Please don't give me a bad impression on Instagram. And that was after the episode where I was already impressed by her and her reaction to Ashley. But I
Oh, so
try
you
not
know
to
more than us.
I try not to put too much stock in Instagram. Like her representation on Instagram is like, I don't have a personality. I'm just presenting myself as somebody like getting money and getting cute. And that's I'm like,
Okay, I see that's
okay.
why.
Well,
With
when she oh, go ahead.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
There you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, on the ride from the airport, I was getting a little bit of that telegraphed and how she was talking about like, in my relationship, because my man is so successful and like I
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
grounds him. I'm a little older.
Yeah.
It's a drop. It's a like way of dropping,
yeah.
her relative position on the other woman.
Yeah. She was because Kiarna, I feel speaking of open, Kiarna, I feel like was being like, let me not give you the perfect picture. Let me like keep it real about, some of the and like she
My
told
man called
everyone
me his employee. That's
exactly,
open.
right? That was very honest of her. And then she was trying to see if there's commonalities between her and Jazzy. And Jazzy kind of took the route that's like, oh no, we're perfect over here. It's like
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
slap in
now
the face of
you're
Fiona's honesty and generosity.
you're building up the 7 portrait for me. That'll be my
Yeah.
working
I'm
Yeah.
theory.
And
excited.
I think she's like looking around, taking the temperature of the room to decide how and where she's gonna pop out. But she's kind of like playing it
That's
safe, as opposed to Stacy. That's why I asked what you meant by open, because Stacy's like, oh, I'm not like, even if she's a 3, right? Which is like, is she a 3? Is she might be a 4? Because she's like, even a 3, you expect to reflect the energy of the room. And Stacy's like, no, I'm just gonna pop out. Okay. You
Mhm.
remember when Candace said that
Mhm.
season 3? Like
Yeah.
she's showing up as she is without invitation yet. Right. And then
Yeah.
when she's called boring, she said, I'm not gonna adjust myself. Okay. You're gonna learn to love it. Like
Right. I'm a handmaiden of the Lord. All right.
it's so
Your
exciting.
hopes for this, Kristen, you were gonna say your hope?
I can't remember what I was gonna say. But I just hope it continues. I like it because I like all of them individually so far. I mean,
Yeah.
probably Kiara the least. Not that I don't
Mhm.
like her, but she has given me less strong cause to support her because of some equivocations in the past. But I really
Mhm.
like what Jazzy is capable of. I too share a like question of Jazzy seems like she's gonna angle for a position in a way, or if not a position, like angle for a conflict or like somebody to come at, which they might deserve it if it's Gizelle, for sure. I'm not
Mhm.
condemning that, but I'm just watching. I'm just watching Jazzy because I could see her with her investments doing something that would make me not support. But right now I like them.
And her affiliations. Mia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, is a big liability. Yes, yes, yes.
Last thing to say on the boat, and we can move past this if you want, but
Just about Stacy's retort to Ashley. I
yes.
I will say about that, just like I'm proud of her, right? Because like she like Ashley was listening to them have the conversation and then going, "What you?" Like
But can I note that
Ashley's rage is very ready this season.
Yeah.
Can I note that before that even got brought up, Jazzy was asking Kiarna where she stood with the women, and Kiarna was bringing Ashley's name up
Mhm,
in earshot.
mhm,
Ashley didn't say a goddamn thing, but then when
mhm.
Stacy brought up Ashley's name, Ashley on the bit, I didn't know Stacy that it was a big problem. So it's like you don't have a fucking leg to stand on with respect.
And why are you being defensive about that? If it was a violation, it was a violation, chalk it up. Is she out here slandering you? Is she out here bullying you on the basis of it? She moved on from it at the table, but she's allowed to recall the proceedings for whoever asks her.
Yes, well, I think also what was very good about how Stacy was relaying it to Jazzy and Kiarna is that she said, I didn't like
Mm,
Ashley's energy. The
right.
energy that she was deploying in bringing up my
Right.
friend, and that is like
The
A
most
statement of
astute
discernment,
reading.
if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, exactly. The most
yeah.
astute reading of a person ever. Because trust me, it's only going to get worse. That B
Yes,
word is
girl.
nasty. There's
Yep,
nothing to
Yeah.
like about Ashley. She nailed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
nailed it.
But then Mia takes her opportunity. She's like, let's pile on. And I just really think like calling someone boring, like I don't know, it just felt nasty. I was like, Mia, can you shut up? Like, and then for Mia to say, it's like, oh, because you think we're entertained by your exploitation of your son. This, by comparison, is boring because she's talking about struggling to have to tell her daughter that she's getting a divorce. You're nasty and
Yeah.
sick. Do not put none of your shit. Like, you see how you can read Mia's kind of like psychic landscape through that comment. She's like, you need to bring the people what they want, which is paternity scandals, exploitation of children,
Drug
humiliation of
addicted
people with
mothers.
mental health issues. Like, you got to throw everyone
She's
you know under the bus.
yeah.
Yes.
Nobody cares that Arabella's trilingual.
Like,
Least of all, Arabella herself. But
like, because it's as if it's like you have to cook up a storyline for people to be amused. No, you just have to reverberate. Like, you just have to show your personality and be interesting, and maybe have some sort of ethical anchor, because we don't like to watch sociopaths. Like, this is not you. Like, but I also love that Netflix series.
I also will say that
Badgley.
I think the general housewife. I don't want to generalize. We've already seen too many generalizations. Many Housewives viewers do actually like to watch sociopaths. I will say that.
You think so?
No, yes, I think the gay men audience is what's
Okay.
pushing.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. And that's who's giving me a pedestal behind the camera, giving me a pedestal.
Yeah.
But the overwhelming majority of people, they do not like this Mia thing. Like,
Because it's scary.
people are saying no. So if this is the sign of sociopathic behavior, people don't want it. They do not want it, and she better cut it out. It's not entertaining. It's sickening.
It's sickening within the children. Mia, come on, please stop.
Yeah. All right.
Mia has always sickened us. Don't forget that, y'all, too. Remember when she was throwing her mom under the bus?
That literally made it, every episode was difficult to watch. Like, my stomach just.
We still don't know where the other son is. Where is he?
Oh my God.
No, I'm glad for him. If he were on the show, it'd be bad. Like, I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but imagine him being like, I guess I'm excluded from my family.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope his like paternal side is welcoming, embracing. Maybe he has cousins.
Yeah. One can only hope.
All right. Well, let's get to the dinner. They get back from the boat. Yeah.
Can I just say, this is blended into the boat and the dinner and the whatever. That little conversation Karen has with Stacey before they get on the boat, and she goes, Stacey's telling her about the trouble of, and then Karen goes, I've always kept it real with you. And we're gonna pivot conversation topics. The women think you're boring. I'm like, what is going on here? Because if that wasn't the most staged, like what Karen is clearly saying is like, what the story you're about to tell me, this can't be your storyline. It's not going to sell, right? Like, that's what's happening.
You know what I was hoping? Because I was reading that and appalled by Karen, but I was like, based on what I know, I hope that there was a cut. I hope that there was a cut, because it's like, Karen, no, you did not just respond to your friend saying, I'm really struggling because we're about to go into mediation. I have to tell
everyone. Oh, you think Stacey was allowed to say a little bit more about it? But I don't know, but I have a feeling Karen was trying to cut her off at the pass. Like, if this is what you're moving forward with as your storyline, the people aren't gonna like it.
I didn't like the suggestion, because I was just like, Karen, that's what you got to say to your friend. You're gonna just quickly move past her anxiety. You think about how anxious you must feel if you've decided to not share with your kid. That must be scary,
Karen doesn't give up. Karen is thinking about, remember that they were recasting and deciding who gets a cherry blossom up to the last minute. Karen is like, if you want to get a tagline, you better switch it up, Which on the one hand you can say is ugly, but on the other, she was like, girl, I want you on the show,
No, but it's like Karen, like it's the three's insistence that they know what the people want, which produces for them too narrow a field of vision. It's like, that's what they limit their imagination by just trying to reflect what is around them, what they think is the dominant or popular thing. It's like, let Stacey cook. Maybe we actually will enjoy this storyline. Maybe it will be enriching, because we expect there to be conflict over the room distribution. What we didn't see coming is that she will go, beds. And the way my heart said, I was so happy for her. I said, so good. Like, like, just let's test it out, Karen. Okay. People don't have to bet their entire fucking lives
And
on
guess
this.
what? And how about maybe the conflict that does happen won't be so formulaic if you think that the rooms have to always be the
Exactly.
same site of
Exactly.
women's conflict. It's like, oh, Stacey might be giving you something better and more principled later.
Yep. Because we get
Yes.
tired of that same old shit. It begins to feel canned and staged.
I 100% agree with that. I think every season that we've had recently, I've just felt like I want to see your internal family drama. What is happening in your life? I want to see that.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear that you're going through a hard time in the middle of a fight that's about nothing. Like, show
Mhm.
me what's happening, you know? So
Yeah.
Stacey
Well,
talking
let me
about
hold out. I also want to hear about conflicts among women friends. Like that's
Well,
also
yes, but I don't want to just constantly get references to I have a lot going on. It's like I'm
yeah.
watching a reality TV show. Show me what's going on, you know?
Mhm.
One, and then two, to the point about canned and formulaic, I really did not appreciate seeing Karen and Giselle have that moment over sharing the bathroom. I'm like, come on. You've definitely shared a bathroom before. Like, no,
They
enough.
thought it was mostly funny, but it kind of wasn't.
It wasn't at
Whatever.
all. Stacey's
Yeah.
storyline, what she's given us about mediation and telling her daughter about the divorce is far more interesting than arguing about bathrooms. Period.
Exactly, exactly. And speaking of, front of camera production, which is to say the attempt to like secure a place, cook up a storyline, and more or less advance yourself as the star of the show. Mia's dinner that night. This is what annoyed me. It's like, okay, what's it called? Bi-coastal baddie as the drink. It was, to me, it was thirsty. To me, Mia was like, let's name the drinks after my iconic moments. It's like, you
Yes.
don't have iconic moments yet.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and sit down. Be
Mm-hmm.
quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she knew it was going to go too far to name all three drinks after her little moments. So she named one of them for a kind of general cast thing. But it's like, you're hosting, you're being gracious. This is not some special event for Mia. You're just the host of the trip. Don't make it about you. No one has done that unless it has some special place, like Gizelle going to New Orleans, where she's actually from. Okay, Mia is not from Lake Norman. She's from Charlotte. But go back to your hometown and then make a drink in light of that. But this it was just too concerted, because then and I might be jumping ahead, so I'll just reference it. When the friends come, they have been coached to say things about me. Give everyone
Yeah.
a fun story about me.
And
It's
then
crazy.
also the cutting of that so that we only hear about ink licking between her toes. Like, and then it's cut. And then you hear going into the next story, Mia's like, don't make me cry this time. What about the last story made you cry? We totally missed, like, but all I heard was ink with the tongue and the
Yeah.
toe,
Also,
But
Mia,
it's
you don't. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but the "Don't Make Me Cry" shows that her whole disposition to these women were just chess pieces to
Mm-hmm.
bolster her. I said,
Oh, totally.
I've
can they
never
be
seen that.
friends?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
I've not
know,
seen.
it's crazy.
It's like, okay, if you're gonna when she announced at the lunch earlier in the day that my friends are gonna come, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, expand the group. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
see what
party.
dynamics ensue. And then
It's
they're
giving
all,
RHOA,
yeah,
right?
like, okay, like, yeah, like it's giving pajama party or something. Okay, but then it's like now they're all in service of, aggrandizing you or like expanding some narrative that you wanted. Yeah, I was so embarrassed by the ink licking my toes, but not really. Like, Mia, you don't have embarrassment. You like
Like, you don't have embarrassment as an emotion.
you don't
Yeah.
like you don't
You're not
experience
capable of it,
that.
okay? You're
No.
shameless.
Yes. No. And I also think that if she was gonna name, I know this wasn't Wendy's birthday dinner, but she should have had drinks named for Wendy.
Like one at least, like,
Because
yeah,
they
it's
had they had the balloons in her bedroom and everything. Like, yeah.
yeah, which was a very nice gesture, and I was proud of Mia for doing that. But the rest of
Yeah.
it was giving the narcissistic seven. It's like, no, 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 this is too heavy-handed, Mia. Like,
Mhm.
just show up, be yourself, and let us like you on that basis. Enough with the fucking cooked plots and plot points. Who
Yeah.
pays people to to big them up? Like, what's
And
going on?
she, she worked her friend in there by being like, if you do the job to set up the table and everything, then you get up, you get a seat at the
Oh
table.
my
Like,
god. Yeah.
Horrible. Horrible. No wonder Jacqueline was feeling on edge.
Mm.
Anyways.
Oh. Oh,
She,
wow.
oh, yes.
Because Jacqueline is the number one paid friend meant to bolster Mia. So now all these,
And
wow.
Jacqueline knows that there's no like pride of place given for time on task, for long-term standing, for like,
Nope,
no,
nope,
she's
nope.
Yeah.
The narcissist said, no, just anyone who's willing to defer to
yes.
me, to bolster me and my reputation, that's who matters at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Jacqueline's like, I've been working overtime for years.
That's what makes her so pitiful. Oh my God.
Yes,
What did you call
exactly.
it? Tragic ambition?
Yeah, her tragic
Yes.
Love that expression.
All right. Well,
Let's
let's.
backtrack though to the Karen Giselle thing real quick.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, we can't afford to forget about that. Quick.
Or can we?
I mean, just this is actually what she should have said. So somebody lead us into this.
Mm. Well, it can't be me because I had a different moment for what she should have said.
Well, you said, I'm bringing up something you already said, Kristen,
Mm.
when we were talking about this earlier. You said you were surprised to see Giselle, or not necessarily surprised, but you observed that Giselle did not go as she might typically go. I don't even want to say hard, but like she didn't take on the positionality of somebody who's like, the way she had been talking in the confessionals and the way she actually continues to talk in the confessionals after the fact of the thing. She's very mild in her approach to Karen. And I just want to add, it looked like, her eyes were red. Like there was, and maybe it was late night, she'd been drinking, but it looked like there was some vulnerability in her.
I think just
You
yeah,
know
go
what I
on.
think? Like, here's what I wish. If this show was actually worth its salt as a reality show and we got some semblance of reality, we might have a like fuller, more 360 view of Giselle because I really do want to know what the things that have impressed her are that have changed some of her reactions. Like, given that we've been doing this rewatch in earlier seasons, like Giselle being receptive to Wendy being like, "Can you not turn up crazy tomorrow because it's my birthday?" Like, she like honors that and is like, "Okay, well, I do want to bring up tonight." I was just, yeah, to your point, I was struck that she didn't like go crazy and be like, "Karen, da, 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 da," like she raised being upset that Karen did this thing, and then she was quickly receptive to Karen to like putting it to bed. Let's say I won't say
Mhm.
she was quick to want to put it to bed to like move past it so that they could retain their friendship. And I think even I was surprised this episode at how often she was deferring the conversation. I was like, okay, the boat ride, this is about to be it. Okay, the lunch at the table, this is about to be
Mhm.
it. Okay, the fact that it wasn't until the end of the episode and it was a very like brief, like, listen, Karen, I want to move past this, but da 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 da. That was surprising to me.
And I
Mhm.
think it's because she was actually hurt by Karen's actions. And to have a extended conversation about it, she would have to be vulnerable or she would have to like perform in a way that wasn't feeling authentic
But
self.
but Giselle's actual hurt in prior seasons usually gets worked out by plotting against some vulnerable,
Exactly, exactly.
and
And
she
we're
has her
talking about an 8 here, Catherine. Like you can identify with like actually being hurt does not mean you on the contrary, for an 8, it usually means you're gonna take the wrong approach. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a mix. I think one, she's actually hurt. And two, I think what accounts for her conversation with Wendy and her general behavior is two, she, I think rightfully so, is worried about the show. She knows fans did not appreciate her behavior. Like she brought the show to gridlock.
Yeah.
And she understands that she needs to change that, So I think
Yeah. I mean, understands is an overstatement because it's like
she
she
lost her
understands.
ally.
She was threatened. Shout out to one of
yeah,
our
yeah.
TikTok friends, Biscotti, who commented this when we posted our sneak peek of the Wendy and Giselle conversation. She said production clearly had a conversation with Giselle because this is
Yeah.
giving forced. And it's
Mm.
like, and I wouldn't say, I'm actually finding Wendy very refreshing. I think because her place feels secured, she doesn't have to be stressed. She doesn't have to like put on. She's like she's very kind of carefree, right? Like she's medicating on Happy Eddie's product. Like I love it, and she's the moral compass so far. It's
Yeah, well, also
beautiful to
carefree
watch.
because she left her job, allegedly. Like she's
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah, for
We
sure.
following girl.
And she doesn't have to worry about a check, right? But Giselle, on the other hand, is very anxiously trying to stay within the lines. Like you can watch her. I just want to say, okay, I'm not going to get loud because you don't want me to do that, right, Andy? Okay.
Yeah, no,
So,
exactly. That
so
is what I meant
and
by understood. She understood that she's not, that she has to change,
she's
not
been
necessarily
given her
why.
marching orders that
Yeah.
she's not irreplaceable, right? Like
Yes.
that's what Andy made clear to her. Like, no, you too are a black. You are disposable as well, he insists.
Yeah.
You can be cast out.
Yeah.
And that's sad. I don't know. It feels a little sad.
Fungibility for the win.
So, just to that point, when they quickly put this conversation to bed, right? Giselle is like, I think that was wrong. Karen actually stands, she's like, well, I ensured that the ladies had transportation. And Giselle goes, but I've always been there for you. And Karen's like, you know what? You have always been there for me. So, scene, I feel like what Karen should have said was, Giselle, no, you are nasty and like, I'm sorry. No, sorry, not sorry. You've been playing people for how long on this show, and particularly
Mhm,
me on my
mhm,
birthday.
mhm,
You
mhm,
try and make a fool of me on my birthday. This is coming off the
mhm,
back of that, So
mhm.
in a vacuum, sure, it was rude, but I'm just responding to what I'm getting. So.
Yeah, and I think if Karen knew that this would be instructive or like somehow benefit her, she would have admitted, well, the way my birthday went, the way you clearly tried to draw lines, the way you have like tried to mobilize an army against me for this DUI issue, I was feeling like she didn't even need to say I was feeling insecure, right? I was feeling like I needed my friends to shore up my
Yeah.
sense that I am supported because I felt very unsupported by what
That would have
my
been good.
longtime
Ooh,
friend's birthday party, right? Like that would have been
Yes.
a more vulnerable but the way she handled it, I also
but it
thought
would have
was
been
fine.
effective. It would have
Yeah,
been effective
It
because
would have
then what
yeah,
been.
could Giselle say?
Yes. Yeah, because I don't like the, oh, well, I ensured. No, you knew it was shady, and that's okay given the context. I would have
no,
preferred some more.
but the I insured it matters, Catherine, because she said like I didn't do the bare naked because it's technically fair.
Mhm,
Even though in real life you would be like you're nasty and self-centered if your friend
mhm,
did that to you. Technically, Karen kept it fair because she said you knew about this event and its coincidence with your event for a long time. I told you that the night before. And Karen remembered everything she said to Giselle the night before. She said, no, I told you I don't remember what time it is. And then Karen had told her, I'm going to try to make it myself. But Karen
mhm.
couldn't make it herself. And so she said, I secured every measure to make sure the women would be able to attend your event. What can you fault me for?
What else can you say?
And she couldn't because it's like if I took them from your event and didn't send them to your event, you might think, okay, that's nasty. But no, technically I was fair. I did
No,
as much as you deserve and more.
the last part is what I agree with. She did as
What?
much as Giselle
Yeah.
deserves.
So,
Yeah,
Catherine,
That's
and more.
your position is that if it were anybody else except Giselle, Karen would have been out of pocket and fucked up for doing what she did. But because
yes.
it's
I don't think
and
it
I
would have
think
been technically right to anyone
and
else.
Giselle, I
Yeah,
think Giselle has to bear responsibility for it then, because it's like,
yeah,
girl, you're mad at yourself for making conditions this way between us.
yeah.
Like
Yes.
For not being anybody who besides Robin, and that this ain't even true for Robin, right? For not being the kind of person who anybody feels compelled to stay loyal to. Like you're
Right.
demanding loyalty, but you haven't merited this loyalty, right? Like look at your behavior.
And it also harkens back, though, surely Karen didn't know these words were used, but to the conversation between Wendy and Giselle. It's like Wendy says, I am responding. You can't police how people respond to you.
Mhm.
And the Hatitude Party was out of pocket. If that was your birthday celebration, you would have been
Yeah,
like, like that would
why
have
did
been
I waste my time?
crazy.
Oh, well, that's
yeah,
why, you
yeah.
know what? That's probably why Karen was so fixated when she saw the like decorations for Wendy's bedroom. Like, you know how many shitty ass birthdays I had, including the one that was
Yeah.
just last
Yeah.
week, where I
Yeah.
think I'm
Yes.
celebrating with my
Yeah.
friends, and it's an
Yeah.
inquisition. I had to go to
Yeah.
dumbass, nasty ass
Yep.
Austin, Texas, with fucking Ashley Darby and her chicken
Yes.
shit, and like,
On my triple 20,
yeah,
you told
And
people to paint my vagina.
and
Like,
the significant, like, because Karen almost fucked up and started punishing Wendy for the fact that they were
Mhm.
appropriately celebrating, right? She kept being she kept being like, Wendy, what about me? And then she
Right.
said, okay, no, directing my ire at the
let
wrong
me hug her
person.
and
And then
fall on
jumps
the
on
bed.
the bed, and that was so cute. I was like, look at Karen, she can still move at 60. I love it.
Yeah.
On a girl's
But can her
trip.
face move? No, her face actually does move. All right.
Not nice. Not nice. Mia's face moves less, okay?
No,
Well,
Karen
that's
is
a
looking great. When
given.
they did the flashback to her 53rd in season 1, I was like, that Karen is so less cute than this
Oh,
Karen.
I
right,
thought
right.
Her
last
boobie,
season's Karen was cuter than this season's Karen.
they're comparable.
Yeah, I don't think there's a substantive difference.
I
Of course,
feel
she got
like
the
in
work
the
done in the middle.
confessional, I'm like, I don't know but you know, to each his own.
Like Freezer
right.
in the pie Karen. Okay, got it.
What'd you say?
Like Freezer in the pie Karen.
Yes, I want her to look like some frozen pie. All right. Let us know in the comments. What should they let us know in the comments? First of all, like,
Um,
comment, subscribe, but
I'm
yeah,
curious about people's position on the Gizelle Karen mess.
yeah.
yeah. Oh, and I didn't get to say my very important point. Just
Oh, what
watch
a
for it, okay? I'm just
coincidence.
gonna leave it
Okay,
here
okay. Link.
as an instance to watch for. It's when they first arrive, after while Jazzy and Jacqueline are in the midst of arguing over this side chick, sidekick comment, and Giselle goes after Jazzy says, "What I actually said, Jacqueline, was that now that I'm here, etc., etc." And then Giselle says, "This where is the self-esteem?" Watch it, everyone. Because don't forget, she then proceeds to defend Jacqueline against Karen's aggressions. Like, why is it Jazzy is the sign of low self-esteem in the midst of this argument? Jazzy is the sign? Not
Yeah,
Jacqueline is right there.
right
Hello?
there. Walking around, strutting around in her airport loungewear, trying to insist that she's bad and knows it, and no
But
one
I
believes.
feel like Jacqueline's, just to provide a counterpoint, I'd not, but just for, the sake of this, as we were discussing before, I feel
Light
like,
skin defenses. Sorry, go ahead.
no, Jacqueline's low self-esteem is the water we're swimming in. I feel like that is a given. And so if there's any defense, it's like that she's saying that, like, she also, I don't think she was necessarily directing that at Jazzy. I think she was saying it about both. And to your point, she should not have been saying it about Jazzy as opposed to this woman that she's sitting here defending.
Yeah, so that's but she did. But she did say it about Jazzy. And it's like off you how many times have you seen her? Off that one conversation, it's enough to now say somebody's self-esteem is low. When you
Yeah.
have Jacqueline as the exemplar of low
I
self-esteem,
think
you're
it's
quick.
production because remember last episode, Jazzy is the one when they all sat down at the tapas bar or whatever, who was like, "Oh, is this who Giselle is?" Because the way like there's something about how Jazzy, what's the phrase, like brought the point to the table, like forced the point or whatever,
Yeah.
that unseated Giselle's sense of like control over things.
Exactly. And
And
you're not gonna see signs of low self-esteem, and those are easy to find anywhere, right? I
yeah.
insist you're not gonna see them from Jazzy at all.
Well, that's what I was going to say is that, as we know, these confessionals are shot after the fact. I
Mhm.
think if indeed it is true that production showed her a clip of Jazzy and she was responding to Jazzy and she was saying low self-esteem, I think that also speaks to, I think we're going to continue to see for the entire season
Mhm.
Jazzy showing out and Gizelle, kind
Not
of
like
being, yeah, yeah,
let's
Mhm.
watch and find out. Let's see.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, have a great day. Love to you all.
Shout out to the rest of your day, Ellen, since you have so much of it ahead of you.
Yes, early
I'm gonna go back to
bird.
sleep. I don't know.
Yes, bi-coastal baddie.
Literally, that's the bicoastal
Okay, see you in hell.
Bye. Already there.